হ্যালো, কিছুদিন আগে আমি একটা ভিডিও বানিয়েছিলাম where I walked you through how Europe was cut out from the common landmass of Asia and Europe taken together based on the color of the skin only. So the entire existence of Europe has started from racism. Now as they moved on, they colonized the rest of the world and meted out atrocities all over the world with all sorts of people everywhere else. So it is only the white people who want to be superior. The white supremacy, white superiority is what they driven that forward. And not just white supremacy, there are other issues as well. But they kill people independently, whether they are white or they are not. But when white people are killed, it has been taken differently than when non-white people are killed. Let us pick up the example of Second World War. During the Second World War, 6 million Jews were killed by Nazi Germany. 6 million Jews. One of the dark chapters of our history. 6 million people are killed by Nazi Germany. And that is called Holocaust, rightly so. I wholeheartedly condemn it. And this is the worst thing you can think of happening as a part of the history. But this is not the only case. During the same time, the Second World War, between 4.5 to 5 million Bengalis were killed by a manufactured famine by none other than Winston Churchill. If you refer to Shashi Tharoor's book, he did a book on this particular thing, and I think it's called The Dark Days. And he also did a debate at the Oxford Academy on the same thing. And I'm actually picking it up from what he said there, and he wrote in his book that British officers who were on the streets in Calcutta and adjoining areas like Dhaka, Calcutta, is mainly done in Bengal, Bihar, and Odisha. So in that area, whatever the British officers were there, they wrote a letter to Winston Churchill that people are actually dying on the streets. And Churchill couldn't bother less. He wrote on the margins of the page, "Why isn't Gandhi dead yet?" That was terrible. I think that was no less than what was done on the Jews there. I am not by any chance condoning what has been done on the Jews. That was wrong, every day wrong. This is wrong today, yesterday, and it will remain wrong forever in the history. But so would this mass killing through a manufactured famine by the British government led by Winston Churchill. We need to acknowledge that too as a Holocaust, as a genocide. Then pick up a third example. King Leopold II walked into Belgian King Leopold II walked into Congo, which is DR Congo today. And he took it as his personal property, and he killed 10 million Congolese, 10 million of them. Took them as their personal slaves and made them work 24 hours. Whoever denied were actually killed, maimed, starved. 10 million of them died. That should be called a genocide. That should also be called a Holocaust. Take another example. The Germans gone into southern part of Africa, which is present in Namibia. And there were two types of tribes. One were the Namas, that entire place, Namibia, is named after them. And there were Hereros, right? Namas and Hereros, they're the two tribes. They executed 80% of the population. 80%. And many of them are actually left in Kalahari Desert to die out of starvation. That should be called a genocide, and that should be called a Holocaust too. The racism which has happened when you were talking about people who are leaving, there were racism in death as well. The Jews who died under Nazi Germany's brutality were recognized as a Holocaust because the guys who died were whites, were Europeans. That's why it's called Holocaust. But the Bengalis, the Congolese, the Namas, the Hereros, well, they weren't white people. There may be 10 million, 5 million dying here and there, but no. There should be recognition of those in the same line. This should be called a Holocaust. This should be called a genocide. And there should be an official apology. There should be an official recognition of the atrocities meted out to these people. History is waiting. People are waiting. We are a quarter through 21st century. Time has come when the powers, the white people, those countries who are no longer the superior ones, but they're no longer ruling the world. It is time to stand up and say, oh, sorry, we did something wrong. It is important. You don't return the time. You don't make those people alive anymore. But it will at least recognize what has been meted out to the people outside Europe. Thanks for listening.